This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us by the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on May 20th, 2016. It's the Victoria Day long weekend here in Canada. Happy 90th birthday to the Queen. And next weekend in the United States, it's Memorial Day long weekend. And as I was saying to Harold, Canada Day is a Friday this year. So we'll be taping our show on the day before, Thursday, Canada Day Friday, and the 4th of July in the United States on Monday. Lots of long weekends, which everyone deserves. We work so hard. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week is a 1.23 carat marquee cut, fancy, super vivid, yellow, internally flawless. It's like a cat's eye. It is spectacular. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. During the week, Fed minutes came out, and they were pointing towards Fed members raising interest rates in the United States in June. Caught the markets off guard. We saw the United States, the dollar go up. We saw commodities pull back. We saw the stock market pull back. We'll have to wait and see if the Fed does raise rates next month. Also, we've been talking about it for quite some time. The stage was set. Geneva, Switzerland. The 17th and 18th. The unique pink diamond. And we will talk more about this in the second half of the show. Sold for $31.5 million. We were excited about that. A very good first day. Now, the next day, the Oppenheimer blue diamond, and this is where it got really exciting. I phoned Harold, and Harold, he couldn't believe it either. $58 million. The Oppenheimer blue sold for $58 million. We'll talk about diamonds in the second half of the show. That Aurora green comes up at the end of the month over in the Far East. Also, two big white rough diamonds are going to be sold, one originally coming from Canada. But Harold, what a week it was for diamonds. We thought that we could see the upper end of the the Oppenheimer blue diamond selling for around $45 million. But here we go, $58 million, a stunning number.
When you see the diamonds in the newsletter, you will understand why this diamond sold for $58 million. I have to say, it is the most beautiful diamond I've ever seen. And again, it's just reflective of what's happening in the alternative asset market. In actual fact, diamonds are doing better, way better, than art is doing or any other investment's doing at this particular time. So again, where the price was close to $60 million, they figured it would sell in the $45 to $48 million range. When you see the diamond, it is beyond beautiful. It's the most beautiful, long, emerald cut, vivid blue diamond I've ever seen. It was just spectacular. But all in all, during the week, the markets are reacting to what could possibly come in June, which is a rate hike by the Federal Reserve. So the U.S. dollar strengthened, gold fell, and that's what we anticipated happening. So basically, if the Fed does actually raise rates in June, which it looks like they could, that will strengthen the U.S. dollar even further. Now, the Federal Reserve said that they would raise interest rates 4 times this calendar year. If they do it in June, will that be the second one, Randy, or the first?
That will be the, they raised rates at the end of the year, and they were projecting 4 for this year. So they did it at the end of the year.
If this first one comes in June, and then we were to get another one in July or August, that would be the catalyst that would send the U.S. dollar well over par and up closer to the numbers that I've been saying for a long time, which is 108 to 110 in the U.S. dollar. So all in all, the gold market fell substantially this week. As we're taping the show on Friday, gold's down another 340. We're down at the 1250 level. Don't forget, it was only about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago the gold was over 1300. So the fact is that as the U.S. dollar gets stronger, the gold market falls. Silver market fell fairly heavily this week. It's down another 3 cents, trading right now at around $16.50. It was up close to $18 a couple weeks ago. Now, reports have come out that George Soros, one of the wealthiest men in the world and one of the great traders in the world, is very bullish on gold. He thinks that gold is going to run. He thinks that U.S. stocks are going to fall. And basically, he sold a massive amount of his stocks, and he bought a major amount of a gold mining stock. Didn't buy actual physical gold, which surprises me, because if you're bullish on gold, you want to own the actual metal. You don't necessarily want to own the stock, because obviously with the metal, you're moving dollar per dollar. With the stock, you don't. So the fact is that George Soros, who's most famous for making a bet back, I think it was in 1999, where he brought down the Bank of England. He actually made $1 billion in profit in one day and brought down the Bank of England. So George Soros is a very smart guy. He's buying gold and he's selling off his stocks. Now, who am I to argue with a guy of the stature of George Soros? But the fact is that if you look at the commitment of traders report, it shows you that gold is going to fall. There's a massive short position by the commercials. It doesn't matter what bullish news is in the market. It doesn't matter what's happening in the market technically or fundamentally. If the commercials are heavily short the market is eventually going to fall. So my feeling on the gold market is that this could possibly be the last hurrah. If we do get the rate increase that we're expecting in June, and then we get at least another one or maybe two before the end of the year, I anticipate that we're going to see $1,000 gold, which is at $12.51 right now, and I anticipate that the U.S. dollar is going to go well above par and more than likely hit 108, 110 in that area. That does not mean that we're not bullish on gold. All it means is that over the short term, with the commitment of traders report, it's showing me that there's a massive short position. Now, if the massive short position was from the speculators, I would look at it totally different than when it's the commercials, because the commercials are the major banks that can control the market, which they have for most of this bull market. In actual fact, the banks have unlimited money, and they don't care how long the market goes against them. And I've seen it happen so many times as we've been in this massive market in gold. The fact is that when the time is right and the conditions are correct, they're going to drop the market. Doesn't matter how bullish the market is. So basically, this could be the last decline that we see in gold. If we're right, and the Federal Reserve does raise interest rates a couple times, and gold falls down to 1,000, I would be a major, major buyer of gold at that particular point. I mean, are we going to get hurt buying gold or owning gold at $12.50? No, because the outlook for gold over the long term is to hit in the several thousands, 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 is a possible move for gold going further down the road. But over the short term, I do see with this commitment of traders report that gold is more than likely going to fall back and probably hit around $1,000, and that could happen right at the end of the summer. As we're also taping the show, we've been saying that the Canadian dollar was going to fall back, and that's exactly what has happened. We're down another 58 points this morning, with the Canadian dollar now trading at 132. Most of the time last week, the Canadian dollar was trading at 128 because oil has rallied back up over the 40, 45, almost $50 level. Here's the concern that I have with oil. There's nothing bullish in the oil market. All you're seeing is speculators, short-term speculators spinning up the market because nothing has changed. There's still a massive oversupply of oil in the market. And here's the catalyst for the whole thing in oil. With obviously the devastation that's going on up in the oil sands up in Fort McMurray, you're talking about a ton of oil being off the market. If oil was extremely bullish, as it should have been with all this oil being taken off the market, oil should have rallied as the fires were basically just starting. We should have seen crude oil go all the way up to the $60, $65 level. But that never happened. In actual fact, the market is not reacting in any way, shape, or form like a bull market. Because, again, that would have been the one major factor at that point that could have really moved the oil market back to where some countries would, actually start to be producing again. Now, you've got a lot of cheating going on. That's why there's massive oversupplies in oil. Saudi Arabia is overproducing, as is Iran, Iraq. Everybody in the Middle East is overproducing. They don't care whether they're making money or not at this point. They just need the revenue. So again, at this particular point, I'm not seeing anything bullish in the oil market, and my gut feeling is telling me that oil is going to fall back down into the 30s. There's still oil being sold very cheap in the Middle East in the mid-20s, which again leads me to believe that should be the benchmark price for oil at this particular point, which is in the mid-20s at this time. So we'll have to see. We're looking at the Commitment of Traders report on oil, and again, where the speculators are up, they're showing that the speculators are buying oil. The commercials are still short the market, and again, 9 times out of 10, I'm putting my money on the commercials. So again, the only thing that has really changed this week was the fact that gold has come down quite substantially this week. The U.S. dollar is starting to rally as they're talking about raising interest rates again. If we do get a rise in interest rates, I think we're going to see a nice rally that will take the U.S. dollar to about the 98-cent level. Then the next month or the month after, if we get another interest rate hike after that, then the U.S. dollar should absolutely skyrocket, and that should push gold back down to 1,000. And then we're going to really look to buy heavily into the physical gold market. You want to own your gold. You don't want to finance it. You don't want anything like that. You don't even want to leverage it. All you want to do is own gold because, again, there's a lot of things happening, and a lot of things are going to happen as a result of the U.S. elections, which is the biggest joke I have ever seen. I mean, it's almost like a carnival act. You can't stop watching it because Donald Trump, who I know well and I've played golf with and I've dined at his private club several times, and in actual fact, I'll tell you a funny story about him. He's such an egomaniac that I was golfing at Trump National about 6 months ago when I was with a client, and this is a very exclusive golf club, and we finished driving our ball. We're getting ready to hit our second shot, and all of a sudden the ball comes flying over our head. And we look back at the tee box to see who could be so ignorant as to hit into us on the very first hole, and sure enough, it was Donald Trump. So he owns the course. I guess he can do whatever he wants. If you're watching the U.S. election, you've got to be very concerned about what's happening here because Hillary Clinton is a hated potential presidential candidate, and Donald Trump is not a politician. So it's a joke that's going on here. But the fact is that the markets are going to respond to it. We've got to monitor it very closely and report back to you what the opportunities are for us to make money from a result like that. So again, that's what our job is, to analyze the markets and get back to our clients and listeners to the show to let you know what we feel are the next opportunities in the market for the opportunity to make some money. So at this particular point, for those that are aggressive, again, I see gold continuing to go further down as I do silver over the short term. That does not mean that we don't anticipate silver and gold going substantially higher. I think this could be the last hurrah that could push gold down one more time. Then we're going to be massive buyers of gold and silver at that particular point. That's what I see happening in the market at this time, Randy.
Featured Diamond of the Week from rarecoloreddiamonds.com is a 1.23 carat marquee cut fancy super vivid yellow internally flawless. See it online, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured Diamond of the Week. Speak with Harold personally and privately about investing in hard assets. 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We have our free weekly newsletter. And I know that you're a very busy person. You don't have a lot of time to go through material, but this is a newsletter you want to take the time to read. We've done it in a way you can go through it in literally 5 minutes. Or if you want, spend hours. Get your name on the list for our free weekly newsletter, the companion to our radio show, the World Financial Report on Radio. Connect with Harold, 1-800-432-1022. Later in the show, we'll be talking about the Oppenheimer Blue Diamond, sold for $58 million. Also, the unique pink, selling for $31.5 million. and 2 big rough diamonds. They're going to be auctioned off. Also a green diamond at the end of the month. That coming up in the second half of the show. This week in the news, and this sort of goes back to our thesis that it is getting to be very, very difficult for the average everyday person to save enough money to retire or retire at all. And that's why we encourage you to speak personally and privately with Harold about the different programs, investment programs that he has in place to help you get more than negative interest rates or 1% at the bank. I'll never retire. Americans break record for working past 65. Almost 20% of Americans 65 and older are now working, according to the latest data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's the most older people with a job since the early 60s. That was before the United States enacted Medicare. Because of the huge baby boom generation that is now just hitting retirement age, the United States has the largest number of older workers ever. When asked to describe their plans for retirement, 27% of Americans said they will keep working as long as possible. And according to a 2015 Federal Reserve study, another 12% said they don't plan to retire at all. Now, why are people putting off retirement? It's simple. They do not have the money. And if you're a millennial, you're a person that's in your 30s, 40s, 50s, there is time to save money, put money aside. Speak with Harold about the different investment programs he has available that are getting more than negative interest rates at the bank, 1%. As we've talked about before, the rule of 72, divide your interest rate into 72. It will tell you how quickly your money will double. Obviously, at 10%, you're looking at 7.2 years. That's very reasonable. But when are we ever going to get 10% at the bank? Probably never, according to a lot of the experts. We're more than likely going to be hooked on these low interest rates for many, many years. If you need help, you need to get more bang for your investment buck, speak with Harold. He has programs in place to help you. 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. RareColoredDiamonds.com is Harold's website. Now, the United States, here we go again. I work 3 part-time jobs. 2.1 million Americans working multiple part-time jobs, matching the all-time high set in 2014. And another reason they're doing it, they just cannot find a job where they can earn a decent living working 9 to 5. In fact, 2/3 of Americans would struggle to cover a $1,000 crisis. And that is, according to a new poll released Thursday, a signal that despite years of recovery from the Great Recession, Americans' financial conditions remains very, very precarious. So you're talking about people making $50,000 a year would have difficulty coming up with $1,000 to cover an unexpected bill. And we talked about it on the last show. And it's quite sad when you think about it, some of the things that are happening in the United States. But you have 1 in 5. No one works in 1 in 5 U.S. families. You heard right. No one working. According to the Congressional Budget Office, nearly 1 in 6 young men in the United States, jobless or incarcerated. We also have that statistic, the labor force participation rate, 62.8% out of the labor force. In fact, 94 million people not working in the United States. And Harold, the reason we bring these things up, there is a bit of a, in our opinion, smoke and mirror show that's going on around the world when it comes to the economics of the world, massive debt and deficits, a lot of money printing. You're seeing extraordinary measures when it comes to monetary policy, negative interest rates, trying to move us towards a cashless society. And people are struggling to get by financially day to day, as we just mentioned on that story. 2/3 struggle to have $1,000 in an emergency. And then you run into people trying to retire. And they can't retire. They're working past 65 because they don't have the money. And Harold, with about 3 minutes left in our first segment here, this is where you come in, because I know you have the knowledge and you have the investment ideas to help people not be in a position where they're working when they hit 65.
You bet. It's almost impossible to retire. You know, the unfortunate thing about retirement is you work so hard throughout your whole life, and you try to do the right thing, and you put away money, and you invest in a retirement savings plan, and you do all the things that you're told to do. And then the bottom line is that it doesn't work out. Nobody's made money on retirement savings plans in 10 years now, so it's a total farce. And the bottom line is that, you know, why does life have to be that you end up eating at 4:30, the early bird specials, because you don't have enough money to last you for the rest of your life? You know, it's an unfortunate situation, and you're right, most people will not be able to retire. I do happen to have private investments that my Canadian clients invest in with us that return 25% a year or more. If you need to hear about that, give me a call, and I'll spend as much time with you as you need. But again, the reason that we do that is that, number one, Randy and I are Canadians. We love our clients and listeners. And again, our businesses are profitable, so we don't mind sharing in that profit with our clients. So again, if you're concerned about what's happening in the world right now with money and your own situation, please get in touch with me, and I'll show you how my clients are taking home 25% a year and getting paid on a monthly basis.
Connect with Harold, 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. 1022. Harold's website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Our featured diamond of the week is a 1.23 carat marquee cut, fancy, super vivid yellow, internally flawless. And Harold, we have about a minute and a half here, and we are going to talk about diamonds in the second half of the show, but if you can, with the time remaining, maybe explain to us, I've never heard that term before, super vivid. What does that mean?
Okay. Well, when the Gemological Institute of America grades a color diamond, it depends on how saturated the color is, and that determines, in a lot of cases, the value of the diamond. So in a yellow diamond, for example, you've got a fancy yellow, then you've got fancy intense yellow, which is more saturation, then you've got fancy vivid yellow, which is the highest saturation. But in each one of those categories, there's 10 different shades of vivid. If it's a light vivid, it's going to be on the lower end. If it's a strong vivid, it could be, out of 10, it could be an 8 or a 9. A super vivid, like the one that we're showing as a featured diamond, if you put it amongst 10 other vivid yellow diamonds and put that one beside it, you will pick that out as the strongest of all vivid yellows. On the scale from 1 to 10, it's a 10 out of 10.
Well, there you go. Take a look at it. rarecoloreddiamonds.com. It's like going to a museum online, seeing the world's rarest diamonds. Diamonds you can invest in. 1.23 carat, marquee cut, fancy, super vivid, yellow, internally flawless. Speak with Harold personally and privately about investing in hard assets. Ask him about the different private investment programs he has available to you. 1-800-432-1022. rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Long weekend here in Canada. It's Victoria Day long weekend. Next weekend in the United States, Memorial Day. Coming up after the break, we will be talking about a pink diamond and a blue diamond that went for record prices. The World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us by the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping on May 20th, 2016. Happy Victoria Day long weekend. And in the United States, next weekend, it's Memorial Day. Ran into somebody on my way to work, and they didn't realize it was a long weekend. They thought it was next weekend. And I said, no, that's the United States with the Memorial Day long weekend. But here in Canada, Victoria Day, and we celebrate the Queen's 90th birthday. Happy birthday to our amazing Queen. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. rarecoloreddiamonds.com. 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Featured diamond of the week, a 1.23 carat marquee cut, super vivid. It's a fancy, super vivid, yellow, internally flawless, You heard Harold explain why it's super vivid. It's the best you can get. It's a museum quality. See it online at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Featured Diamond of the Week. Well, we talked about it for quite some time. We knew that it was going to be a big week. We had two auctions, one on the 17th, one on the 18th, both in Geneva. One from Christie's, one from Sotheby's. Last year, it was an amazing week too. We had the billionaire Lau pick up a pink diamond, and that was for if I remember correctly, $28.5 million. Then he picked up a blue diamond, and that blue diamond was for up around $31.5 million, somewhere in there. So in total, it was around $77 million. Now we fast forward a year later, and as promised, we said it would be big, and it turned out to be even beyond our wildest imagination. Blue diamond sells for $58 million, highest gem auction price. Blue diamond set a record price for a jewel in auction when it went under the hammer for $58 million in Christie's sale in Geneva. The Oppenheimer blue, 14.62 carats, is the largest fancy vivid blue to be auctioned and was estimated to be worth around $46 million. The stone was named after its previous owner, Sir Philip Oppenheimer, whose family controlled De Beers for 80 years before selling a stake in the diamond mining company to Anglo-American plc in 2012. Blue diamonds are the rarest in the world. The previous record was set by Hong Kong billionaire Joseph Lau, who paid, it was $48.5 million. They're saying $50 for a 12.03 carat fancy blue diamond called Blue Moon at Sotheby's last year. They changed the name to Josephine for his daughter. The packed Geneva sales room broke into applause as Rao Katika, Christie's international head of jewelry, brought down the hammer after two phone bidders ended a 20-minute battle. The buyer's identity was not immediately known. Bidding opened at 30 million Swiss francs for the blue diamond, and the top lot at the half-yearly sale. And amid the long pauses between telephone bids, Katika quipped, "These stones come along once in a lifetime. We have to wait." The auction market for gems has been very strong, even stronger than the art market. That is our first diamond. Here, we'll talk about that first, and then we'll get to the unique pink. But I know I picked up the phone when I heard the price, phoned you, and we were both just awestruck over that $58 million price.
You bet. But when you look at the diamond, it is so spectacular. I mean, a long emerald cut of this quality. He's right. A diamond like this comes around once in a lifetime. And again, it'd be interesting to know what that diamond was, what the cost was when they first had it as a rough, and, how old that diamond is. But $58 million, it just goes to show you that, first of all, people that have that kind of money are smart people. They've made a lot of money. They make the right decisions. Sometimes, they may have inherited the money, but the fact is that with that, they've inherited businesses and other wealth and that type of thing. So when they take their money and they buy an asset for, in this case, $58 million, it's not on a whim. They're buying it to make more money with. It stays in the family. The fact is that they're normally handed down from generation to generation, and that's why these type of assets take on a life of their own. I've told the story many times about my wife's girlfriend whose grandmother 50 years ago bought a 5-carat pink diamond for $50,000. Today that diamond's worth $5 million. So diamonds like this, obviously, are amazing assets. Most people, most of us could never, ever, afford to buy a $58 million diamond. But if you look at the auction results from these auctions, you're also going to see that, yes, the big diamonds sold for record prices, and that's exciting as can be, especially for all of us in the industry. However, there's a lot more auctions that are going on except for the pink and the blue. And if you look at some of the yellow diamonds that are selling in the 100,000 range or 200,000 range, the returns on those diamonds are substantial. In actual fact, in most cases, they go up much more than the more expensive diamonds do. So where investing in diamonds isn't for everybody, because let's face it, it's price prohibitive for most people. We know that most Americans don't have $10,000 to their name, and our diamonds start at $20,000. So again, when you're talking about the diamond market, you're talking about the top 1% basically, or this was more in the past, that the top 1% could only afford them. What we did with my company, Rare Colored Diamonds and H. Siegel Fine Auctions, is what we've done is we brought, the lesser priced diamond market to us. So diamonds that we can afford to buy, diamonds that we can afford to invest in, and over time are going to make substantial returns. The fact is that if you make an investment that returns 300, 400, 500%, it doesn't matter what the name of the investment is. It's just what the return is. And the fact is that diamonds have given those type of returns, for decades now. We have diamonds that start at 20,000, and we have diamonds that go as high as 40 to 50 million. And the fact is we sell a lot more diamonds that are in the 100, 200, 500,000 range, and even diamonds in the 20, 40, 50,000 range, that obviously clients that can afford to buy diamonds that are over 10 million. So what we did is we created this market, the investment market, and when I look at an investment, I look at two things. Number one, how safe the investment is. Will I preserve my capital or will I lose my money? And second of all, what is the potential for making money? And when I look at Rare Colored Diamonds, it's the perfect storm because, number one, rare colored diamonds, and not all colored diamonds are good investments. In fact, believe it or not, most colored diamonds are not good investments. You need to really know what you're doing. If you're going to buy a yellow diamond, you want to own a canary or a fancy yellow or a fancy intense or a fancy vivid, but it's got to be internally flawless. That's the major difference. So the fact is that what we did is we created an investment market for diamonds, that are affordable. And again, we do have our collection of diamonds that are just absolutely off the charts. And then what we did is that we built the secondary market. We built H. Siegel Fine Auctions to be able to resell our diamonds and hold and build an auction business. Now, for the first 2 years that we operated our auctions, they did tremendously well. Very profitable. Everybody was excited about it. Not only were we auctioning off diamonds, but we were auctioning off gold and silver coin sets and fun things and things like that. But then the technology started to change. When we first started with our auction site a few years ago, 80% of our clients would attend our auctions on their personal computers. And now 80% of our clients would attend our auctions and our virtual seminars on their iPhones. So we've changed our technology. In fact, next weekend, we have our friends from Relentless Technologies from Vancouver coming down to demonstrate our brand new, amazing H. Siegel Fine Auctions website and new technology. And we will start to hold tremendous auctions again. And in fact, these are going to be some of the greatest auctions we've ever held. So we're very excited. We know we have a lot of clients and friends up in Fort McMurray that are in dire straits right now. We want to help you with some auctions first on your diamonds. We have other clients that need to sell. And again, what we needed to do was to get our auction business back into the technology that we need, and that will be coming up next week, so we're very excited about that. But Randy, all in all, I mean, just the auction results from this week alone were phenomenal. All the diamonds that we were looking at sold for way more than what the experts thought that they were. If you have a chance, why don't you bring us up to date on a couple of those auction results?
Well, Harold, I want to talk about the unique pink, and what we'll do next week, we have the auction results from Christie's and Sotheby's. I didn't want to over-inundate people with information this week. I wanted to focus on the blue diamond, the pink diamond, and these monster white diamonds. And what we'll do next week in our free weekly newsletter, we're going to go through and pick out some of the best diamond auction results. But let's get to this unique pink. So a rare 31.6 million unique pink diamond set a new auction record. It was 15.38 carat pear-shaped pink diamond called Unique Pink, sold at Sotheby's in Geneva Tuesday, making it the most expensive fancy vivid pink ever to sell at auction. The spectacular diamond set in a simple ring sold to an Asian private buyer who bid for the rare gem over the phone. A Sotheby's spokesman said they were not yet able to reveal the buyer's identity. The stone was put up for sale by Ehud Laniando, And he sold the Blue Moon of Josephine last year at this time for $48.5 million, and it went to the billionaire Lau. And he says, we're slowly seeing a market for diamonds going beyond jewelry and becoming an asset. Laniando said in a phone interview, I think the tendency will move to the big white stones as well. It's difficult to imagine a diamond that better illustrates the term vivid pink than this outstanding stone. The color is simply astonishing, according to David Bennett, worldwide chairman of Sotheby's International Jewelry. He said in a statement, the most expensive pink diamond ever to sell at auction remains the 24.78 carat Graph Pink, which sold for $46.2 million at Sotheby's in November 2010. However, yesterday's unique pink sale eclipsed the previous record for a fancy vivid pink diamond set by the Sweet Josephine at Christie's auction November 2015. That 16.08 carat diamond sold for $28.5 million to Hong Kong billionaire Joseph Lau, who purchased it for his 7-year-old daughter Josephine. As colorful as these diamonds may be, they pale in comparison to the diamond Lau purchased for his daughter at a Sotheby's auction the very next day. The 12-carat blue sparkler, dubbed the Blue Moon of Josephine, sold for a $48.5 million. That's right, marker, $48.5 million, making it the world's most expensive diamond ever. And we report that to you. What an amazing number. Now, Harold, the next one, and this is going to be big. A record green diamond leads Christie's sale. It's a 5.03 carat diamond dubbed the Aurora Green, expected to go for $20 million. Hong Kong dollars, $155 million at Christie's auction in Hong Kong at the end of the month. It's the Magnificent Jewel Sale, May 31. So there's the information on the blue. The blue, $58 million. The unique pink, $31.6 million. And we wait for the green diamond, Harold, at the end of the month, a 5 carat. And they're saying $20 million. And green is a lucky number in the Asian community. So I suspect, and I want your opinion, I think it probably goes for more than $20 million. I'd be surprised if it doesn't.
Well, again, very seldom does a vivid green diamond ever become up for sale, especially that size. That's the largest one I've ever seen. So we just bought, and we have the rough, but we have a 6.5 carat vivid green rough that we haven't cut yet. They're just beyond rare, and we've invested very, very heavily in green diamonds and green rough diamonds and orange diamonds. So we've seen monumental moves in pink diamonds and in blue diamonds and in red diamonds, and now green diamonds. This vivid green will probably sell for $4 million a carat. That's basically what the vivid blues are selling for now. So very seldom will a diamond like this vivid green, ever come up for sale. But the fact is that it's going to sell for $4 million a carat right off the bat is just a tribute to how amazing this diamond is. And when you see the pictures of this diamond, you're just going to flip because you've never seen anything like it. We've invested very heavily in rough green diamonds from Central and South America, and we're starting to cut those and bring them to our clients as we believe they are the next major bull market in diamonds, and also with orange diamonds. Green diamonds basically come from uranium. Basically radioactive minerals that enter the ground and turn a diamond green. Very seldom has anybody ever seen a green diamond. And again, you've got, the light greens and those type of things, and they're beautiful diamonds. But when you get into a fancy green, a fancy intense green, a fancy deep green, and the best of all, the fancy vivid green, these are diamonds that most people never even knew existed. Investment-wise, they'll return more money than almost any investment you could ever make. And realizing that this is going to be the next trend, we're cutting and mining as many green and orange diamonds as we can possibly get. Now, you're not talking about something that could ever be mass-marketed. Rare colored diamonds can never be mass-marketed. Each one of them is independently a one-of-a-kind, because there's no two diamonds that are identical. But the fact is that we're looking at the fact that very seldom will a blue diamond ever come up for sale again. There's hardly any blues on the market at all, and when they do come available for sale, you see what the prices are. The same thing now with pinks. Pinks are going for over $2 million a carat for vivid pinks, soon to be $3 to $4 million a carat. And now this amazing vivid green that is coming up for sale will sell for probably very close to $4 million a carat, which is just music to my ears, because again, we're the ones that started cutting these green diamonds when nobody even knew that they existed. So we've got some opportunities for our clients that defy description. When I mentioned during the first part of the show that my clients are making 25% a year with us and more, I'm not talking about buying individual diamonds. I'm talking about alternative investments that we have that deals in rough diamonds. My partners are fourth-generation diamond miners from Central America. They know the diamond business better than anybody that I know. They have over $500 million worth of family diamonds that they own. And I am their partner and major contributor to their business. What I've done and has been able to do is actually bring my Canadian clients into some of our businesses that have been doing extremely well. Now, again, I've mentioned many times, over the last several months, to get out of Canadian dollar-based investments and get into U.S. dollar-based investments. And my clients that have done that are doing tremendously well and will continue to do tremendously well. And even though the payoffs and the payouts on these investments are extremely high, there's very little risk to these investments. So again, I know it may sound too good to be true, but I can assure you that these businesses have been going on for a long, long time. My clients, my partners, have been in this business for over 4 generations now. So our clients are making a lot of money in private investments with us, and I don't mean necessarily buying individual diamonds. I'm talking about investing in projects that we've been involved in that have been mining green and orange and those type of diamonds. So again, if you are not hitting your investment goals, and especially your retirement goals, and you're realizing that what I'm saying is true, that for the past decade, you have not made any money in your retirement savings plans, and unfortunately, you won't. And if you continue to sit there and let your money sit in the stock market and mutual funds, you're going to lose it all again, just like we did in 2008 and 9. So please listen to me on this, because I know what I'm talking about. Give me a call. Let me explain to you what our investments are about and how you may be able to participate. Now, they're not for everybody. The minimum accounts are $25,000 to enter these, but again, our clients are making over 25% a year, and in some cases doing even better than that. Please give me a call. I'll explain what we're doing and see if it's something that is comfortable for you. But there's no reason at this point to sit back and be petrified that you're never going to be able to retire or that your investments aren't doing well for you. All it means that you're not in the right markets at the right time, and we need to get you into that situation. It's that simple.
Connect with Harold. The call is free. Anything discussed is confidential. 1-800-432-1022. 1-800-432-1022. RareColoredDiamonds.com is the website. RareColoredDiamonds.com. 1-800-432-1022. Our featured diamond of the week, 1.2 carat marquee cut fancy super vivid yellow internally flawless. See it online, RareColoredDiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. So we talked about the blue diamond, sold on the 18th in Geneva. $58 million. We talked about the pink diamond, $31.6 million on the 17th from Sotheby's, $89.6 million in total. A year earlier, as we talked about, the billionaire Lau picking up for $48.5 million a blue diamond, and then the day before, $28.5 million for a pink diamond, $77 million. So this year topped last year's Geneva sales. But we moved to something that is even bigger when it comes to just the size. And you may have seen this online. Freakish diamond pulled from subarctic ice is about to go on sale. A 187.7 carat rare stone was buried where big gem quality diamonds aren't supposed to exist. Even in the world of rare stones, Firefox is a freak. It was buried in a place where normally you don't find them. A Rio Tinto Group ore processor was configured to discard it, if you can believe it. And what saved the diamond, 187.7 carats, from being pulverized was just a fluke. Its unusual, elongated shape allowed it to slip sideways through a filtering screen. And thus, a miracle happened. It really is a miracle that it was found, according to Alan Davies, CEO of Diamonds and Minerals for Rio Tinto, the operator of Canada's Devic mine, Firefox's former home. It's a rare find, a really rare find. That's the company's marketing line, as it shows Firefox to prospective suitors on a worldwide tour and promotes it as the largest gem-quality diamond ever found in North America. Luckily for Rio Tinto, rare diamonds are hot. Lucara, we talked about this on the last show, just sold an 813-carat jewel named the Constellation for $63 million, making it the most expensive of its kind, $77,649 a carat. Next month, Sotheby's will be offering one that could fetch even more. The Lasita Lorona at 1,111 carats is the size of a tennis ball. And there's a lot of latent demand for good quality that's large, according to Gordy Mark, an analyst at Haywood Securities in Vancouver. The larger you go, the better pricing protection you have, simply because of rarity. Firefox may be less than a third of the size of the Constellation, which, like the Lasita Lorona, hails from the Lucara mine in Botswana. But Davies says he's banking on a backstory capturing a lot of imaginations. And the provenance is just superb. So, Harold, I know that we've talked about big white diamonds. Yeah, I know that you do have a big white uncut diamond, similar to what we're talking about. But it's interesting. The blue diamonds, the pink diamonds, we spoke about the green, and now the big monster white diamonds, they're trying to push their way in, too. It's an amazing time in the diamond world, and we have about 3 minutes left.
It certainly is. Again, because of what's happening at auction, some of these amazing diamonds are now coming out of collections and going up for auction because the prices are just off the charts astronomical. And that is going to continue because these are one-of-a-kind gems that will never, ever be seen again. And again, there has to be a reason why billionaires and multimillionaires are buying these type of investments. I mean, people that have that type of money don't just spend it just for the sake of spending it. They do the research. And the fact is, if you do your research, you'll realize that rare-colored diamonds are one of the best long-term investments you could ever make. They give you capital preservation because they never decline in value, and they give you capital appreciation because they go up in value. That's exactly what you want in an investment that is safe, that's not going to fall, like stocks and commodities and mutual funds and those type of things. But then on the other hand, you've got the potential over time to see a diamond go from $50,000 to $5 million over a 50-year period. So again, that's why diamonds like this are primarily handed down from generation to generation, because important diamonds become way more valuable with time. So again, I'm just absolutely ecstatic about what's happening in the diamond business, both in the cut and polish diamond business, like the phenomenal diamonds that went up for auction this week, and also the rough diamond market, where these amazing diamonds actually start from. We've got some of the most beautiful rough diamonds the world has ever seen. The diamond that Randy was talking about is a 50-carat D-flawless white diamond that I own that we haven't cut yet, that will turn out to be a 30-carat cushion cut D-flawless perfect diamond. Again, these diamonds only come around once in a lifetime, and these are the type of deals that we're bringing to our Canadian clients that, again, our clients are doing extremely well with. So please, we love our clients and the listeners to our show. We know, especially in Alberta, that our clients are hurting right now because of Fort McMurray and the oil markets and everything like that. Let me help you. It's important that we get you back on track financially. So please give me a call next week, and I'll sit down and explain what we're doing. And again, my clients are making over 25% a year, and nobody else is doing that in the business at this time.
Thank you very much, Harold Siegel. Happy long weekend.
It's my pleasure, Randy. I wish everybody a wonderful long weekend and a very profitable day.
Featured diamond, a 1.23 carat marquee cut, fancy, super vivid yellow, internally flawless. See it at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Featured diamond of the week. Connect with Harold at 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We will have next week auction results for specific smaller diamonds from Christie's and Sotheby's this week, next week on the show. Don't miss it. Have a great